topic, Hall effect. So as we have seen in the before diagram, this is my semiconductor. What it is? Semiconductor, and these are holes or electrons? Holes. That means here which type of semiconductor is there? P-type. So P-type semiconductor is there. From here what I am going to pass? Holes or the electrons, those are charge carriers. So when you apply the magnetic field, you can see the deviation. And this is calculated by using of Hall voltage. So see the first point. Let us consider the P-type semiconductor. We are considering the P-type semiconductor. Whose are those charge carriers? Holes. So the P-type semiconductors are having the charge carriers of holes. Now, if electricity is passed in the x direction, if I am going to pass in the x direction, this is x direction and this is y direction. So when I am going to pass in x direction, holes will go in a straight line. But next case, what if I am applying magnetic field? That means if magnetic field is applied, in which direction we are going to apply magnetic field? Perpendicular, right? That means direction y. So see here it is x, y, z. So the current flow, the direction of holes are in x direction, and I am going to apply the magnetic field in y direction. So see, direction perpendicular. The straight moving holes take a curved path. So before applying the magnetic field, my holes are going in a straight direction, that is in x direction. But when you are applying the magnetic field, what happens? It is going to take a curved path or a deviation. In which direction? Z. So this direction is known as the Z direction. So if you see, as a result, many number of charge carriers, those charge carriers what we are seeing here, holes. So the many number of charge carriers gather at one end, that is Z. Gather at one end and of semiconductor, and finally potential difference develop across the Z direction. So here what is developing? Potential difference. Can you see here? Potential difference is developed across the Z direction. Next, the developed voltage is termed as Hall potential or Hall voltage. Whatever the potential it is developed when you apply the external magnetic field, that you will call it as a Hall potential or Hall voltage. Next, and this effect is known as Hall effect. Easy? Understood? Yes? Now move. See, in the absence of magnetic field, there will not be any Hall potential. As before we discussed, when I am not having any magnet there, or when I am not having any magnetic field, I cannot have any Hall potential. So that is the next. Hence the Hall effect is used to test the presence of magnetic field in the motors. Next, so if intensity of magnetic field is high, what happens? The voltage of Hall also, like Hall voltage is also high, and therefore we can comparatively measure the strength of magnetic field. So now, if my Hall voltage is positive, if it is positive, then it is a P-type semiconductor. Understood? If my Hall voltage is a positive, then it is a P-type semiconductor. Next, if my Hall voltage is negative, it is N-type semiconductor. Applications, if you see, it is used to calculate the speed of motor vehicle and also the brushless DC motor, like to know the exact position of motor, and is also used to measure the power loss. It is used to measure the power loss at the surface of magnetic material. And finally, we have seen the open close the example, right? Proximity sensor. So magnets are placed to doors and we can get a signal. We can get a signal whether the door is opened or closed. Understood? Yes, ma'am? Did I explain you electrical insulators? So till whatever we have studied those 5 different types of magnetic materials, we'll see the diagram. First, in diamagnetic, what is happening here? It is repulsion, right? So from the material, if you imagine this is a material, what is happening? The lines are, they are repelling. Yes, they are repelling from the material. Next, if you take the paramagnetic, what is happening? They are weakly attracted. So they are attracted to the material. And ferro, they are strongly attracted. You can see the lines, difference between these lines and these lines. It is strongly attracted and this is weakly attracted. Next. Stop. So if you see the paramagnetic materials, the spins will be of like this. Okay. We are having only one unpaired electron, right? And it is also a weakly attracted. Okay. Now, here is what a ferro. What is this one? Ferro. So in ferro, what we are having, the spins are arranged in only one direction. That is why we are getting a strong force of attraction. Yes or no? So my spins are already only in one direction. Now, antiferro means what? I am having one direction, but the adjacent ions or spins are having antiparallel. So you can see the antiparallel arrangement here. Yes. And here we are having a parallel and antiparallel, but unequal in number. Yes, understood, ma'am? Yes? Pause. Yes. So our next topic is what? Magnetism. So if you observe the phenomenon associated with the magnetic field, when it is going to arise? From the motion of electric charges. Now what are those electric charges? Positive and negative. Positive are nothing but your protons, negative are nothing but your electrons. Okay, next. Magnetic materials can be classified into, as we have explained before class, how many types we have? 5 types. Okay, those are diamagnetic materials, para, ferro and antiferro and ferrimagnetic materials. Coming to the diamagnetic materials, how they are there in the diamagnetic? See? The materials will repel the external magnetic field. The materials will repel the external magnetic field are called as diamagnetic materials. Are called as diamagnetic materials. Now, second one. What I said, it is a permanent or non-permanent? It is a non-permanent effect. So when I am saying it is a non-permanent effect, that means what? As long as you apply the external magnetic field only, it is showing its effect. If you stop applying, it is not showing. So see, that means it is shown as long as external magnetic field is applied. And next, when diamagnetic material is placed in a magnetic field, the magnetic line of force, what it will be doing? It will repel. Okay, it will repel. Example, you can take copper, gold, silver. Okay, next. Para. If you see the para materials are those which will attract the magnetic lines of force when placed in an external magnetic field. That is what we have studied, right? It also, like it is attract. Okay, next. It also a non-permanent effect. It also a non-permanent effect. When you are saying it is a non-permanent effect, you will be repeating same line. That means it's shown as long as the external magnetic field is applied. Next. The degree of magnetism is proportional to the strength of applied magnetic field. And examples like aluminium, chromium, molybdenum, sodium. Okay, next. And zirconium. The last one is zirconium. Next. The third one is what? Ferromagnetic materials. What I said ferro means those are strongly attracted. Those are strongly attracted by a magnetic field. Now see, ferromagnetic materials are strongly attracted by external magnetic field and retain magnetism even after external magnetic field is removed. That means it is a permanent or non-permanent. Understood the sentence? It is retained when you even remove the external magnetic field. So it is a permanent effect. For example, you can see iron and cobalt. Next, antiferro means what I said? We are having anti-parallel spins, right? So see here. In these materials, magnetic moments are aligned. Aligned means arranged in such a way that magnetic moments of adjacent ions. That means what? See here I have mentioned the adjacent ions, means the side ions are having anti-parallel, so that they can cancel out each other. And as a result, what happens? Net magnetic moment will be the zero. Net magnetic momentum will be the zero. And the last one is what? Ferromagnetic materials. So just like antiferromagnetic materials, these materials are also parallel and anti-parallel. These are parallel and anti-parallel when they are applied in magnetic field. But the number is not equal. Understood? Here in the ferry, what is happening? We are having the spins like parallel as well as anti-parallel. Can you see here? This one. Parallel and anti-parallel. But the number is unequal. So that means the magnetic moment do not cancel out each other. And as a result, the material possesses magnetization even in the absence of magnetic field. Example, Fe2O4 and Fe3O4 and MFE2O4, and the M is nothing but our metal. Okay.